There are approximately 1.5 million gig workers currently driving or delivering in the United States for the likes of Uber, Lyft, DoorDash, Grubhub, and others. Right now, their livelihoods are under threat, not from policy, not from people, but from autonomous robots, in this case, on wheels. Welcome to Robot Tsunami. This is where we track how AI and robotics are reshaping the workforce. I'm Larry, the robot guy. And in this episode, we forget about projections. We're talking about real-life jobs that robots are replacing and making obsolete right now in 2025. So an Uber driver in Phoenix told Business Insider that he recently watched a driverless taxi pull up to a curb and take passengers without a human behind the wheel while he was left waiting for a fare. Here's how he described it. Driverless taxis are flooding an already competitive Phoenix market and taking money from human drivers. His name's Jason, and you know what? He's not wrong. Waymo cars are already running 24/7 in Phoenix, San Francisco, Los Angeles, Austin, and Starship and other food delivery bots are delivering on campuses worldwide in major cities. And what's happening is that gig workers are the first to feel the impact. Rideshare, food delivery, groceries, packages, all kinds of things. They may be the first, but they're certainly not the last. This is the quiet automation of work, and it's AI-driven, and it's already begun. So for drivers, it's not just about losing rides. It's about the slow erosion of opportunity. One trip, one delivery, one shift at a time. Automation isn't coming for the future, it's already taking the present. So let's talk a little bit about some of the characteristics of these robots on wheels as they start to flood the workforce. Waymo is in the U.S. They're a large driverless taxi company, started in San Francisco, have spread out to other cities in the Southwest. They're currently building a plant in Mesa, Arizona, where they're going to produce 2,000, or at least this is their objective, 2,000 driverless Jaguars in 2025. And then they want to ramp up and scale this plant to produce tens of thousands of these driverless cars each and every year. They currently have over 5 million total driverless trips completed. They provide about 250,000 trips per week. That's about 1 million miles weekly. The Uber CEO, talking about Waymo, noted that there are approximately 100 robo-taxis operating throughout the Austin area are now busier than 99% of human drivers in terms of daily completed trips. There was another company, by the way, called Cruise Robotaxi, and it was primarily owned by General Motors. General Motors ceased operations in 2024 after they had a fatality where one of their cars tragically hit a pedestrian. But they claimed that the markets are too competitive. My own personal hunch is that they didn't want to put in the investment to keep up with the likes of Waymo, Baidu in China, the cyber taxi, and they folded the tent. Waymo also, by the way, had a fatality. I believe it was in late 2024, and they ceased all operations nationwide for the first quarter of 2025, recently resuming after a thorough investigation and some new policies batteries and new technologies and that kind of thing. But they're back in operations. So, there are safety concerns. However, there was a 2024 peer-reviewed study covering 56.7 million miles of autonomous driving in cities like Phoenix, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and Austin, and it found that compared to human drivers, these Waymo vehicles had 96% fewer vehicle-to-vehicle intersection crashes, 81% fewer injury-causing crashes, and 83% fewer airbag deployment crashes. So apparently the writing's on the wall. These cars think faster than humans. They're using advanced AI and advanced sensors, either optical or LiDAR, and they are driving millions of miles each year, and they're doing it safely, perhaps safer than human drivers. So, human drivers have concern that these vehicles, these driverless, autonomous robots on wheels, are going to replace them, because they are replacing them, and because these companies are coming in and talking about really flooding the zone with tens of thousands of vehicles per year. So, maybe they can go to Uber Eats or Grubhub and, deliver food. Well, maybe not. So Starship delivery bots have already had more than 8 million autonomous deliveries completed on college campuses across the country. They cross 2,000 sidewalks a day, about 125,000 streets. They are in 50 plus U.S. colleges, really all over, and they've served over 1.1 million students. And then there's another robot that delivers food in large cities like San Francisco and Los Angeles, Austin, others. And they've already had tens of thousands of food deliveries completed for Uber Eats and 7-Eleven. Notice Uber Eats is already using them. If they can get rid of the middleman, that gig economy worker, that's more profit straight to them. They only have 100 robots in deployment. However, they're scaling to 2,000 by the end of 2025, and then they'll do another 2,000 in 2026, and and then that increases the fleet to 4,000, and then they'll keep scaling up exponentially their operations until finally they have tens of thousands of these little robots delivering food. And then there's really no work left for the Uber Eats drivers. So look, these job replacements happen without headlines, without warning. There's just fewer trips or deliveries from the app, fewer tips, fewer routes, fewer miles, fewer hours, and that's how automation rolls in. It's quiet, it's steady, and it's hard to stop. So these aren't prototypes. They're already working, quietly replacing workers who were going about earning a living all across the country and really all across the world. So this is just one industry being affected by autonomous robots. There's no end in sight. They're just going to keep coming and coming and coming, hence the robot tsunami, replacing people earning a living or augmenting their income. And the question is that we will ask every single time is, what will these people do for revenue? And we will keep working until we get an answer to that question. Please like and subscribe for more.